Good Sunday morning. Reverend Penny Honey here with Unity of Flagstaff. Thank you for joining us here on our YouTube channel, youtube.unityofflagstaff.org. You have any questions about the ministry, interested in continuing to financially support this ministry, please go to our website at www.unityofflagstaff.org. We appreciate the ongoing support. For those of you who auto-tithe, thank you for having that in place. And for those of you interested in auto-tithing, you can find that information on the donate page on our website. You can also join us here on Thursday evenings for the Thursday meditation moment right here on this YouTube channel. And don't forget, we've added a Friday How You Doing Hootin' Nanny, and you can find that Zoom link on our website at www.unityofflagstaff.org also. Be sure and check that out Friday evenings at 7 p.m. Today we're going to talk about patience. Yes, the virtue of patience, the pursuit of patience. So thank you again. Keeping in mind that Unity of Flagstaff supports the belief that God is just too big to fit into one religion. All are welcome here, always have been, always will be. We'd also like to introduce you today to a new musical artist, Ryan Biter, a local gentleman here that tours and shares his inspiring and amazing voice and music. So thank you, Ryan, for joining us. I am sure you will find it to be most pleasurable in watching Ryan today. We also want to thank Trina Goetz today for her musical contribution, and as always, thank you, Trina, for the putting together of these videos for Sunday morning services. My friends, thank you. You are blessed. Stay healthy, stay well, and enjoy this Sunday morning music and message with Unity of Flagstaff. Namaste.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful. Oh, grateful. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Patience is our topic today. The pursuit of patience. I hadn't really considered the dichotomy that statement is until I saw it in print. I had to kind of chuckle at myself. You know, I've spent a notable amount of energy pushing rope uphill and not being patient many times in my life. In fact, I decided I thought I might try to count them. And then I just lost the patience to do that. At times, it feels like my patience are being tried. How about you? At times, it feels like I'm being tested. Now, that's not a real new thinker thought, is it? However, it can feel that way sometimes. Kind of feels that way these days. At least for me, it does. At times, it just feels like somebody's got it out for me. Carl Coretto, after spending more than 20 years in solitude as a monk in the Sahara Desert, said this: "It is not that God wants to test our patience. The need for patience arises out of the rhythms that are innate within life itself." The need for patience arises out of the rhythms that are innate within life itself. Now, I'm not sure how much comfort that quote brings me, but it certainly gave me a new way to look at things. And when things don't go our way and we're feeling a little punished, in New Thought we need to remember that we do not teach that God's out to get us or that there's an evil power out there after us. Although, as I said before, it can feel that way sometimes. We teach that co-creating life is done through our thoughts, our deeds, our words, and our actions. Patience, it seems, could be a very influential element in that formula. Peace in our world, abundance, joy, health, divine expression, trust, power, enlightenment, at least spiritual maturity. I'm thinking patience could have an influence on all of these things. Writer, philosopher, Christian mystic, and visionary of the 12th century in Germany, Hildegard von Bingen, affirmed this. She said that at birth, our divine potential is folded up in us like a tent. It is life's purpose to unfold that tent. We are co-creators and we have work to do, she tells us. You know, there are many ways that impatience, or not practicing patience, can be detrimental. One of the first ones that comes to mind is that being impatient can really throw a wrench in the unfolding of our lives. You know, you've heard me say this before. The universe doesn't have an opinion, and typically, except for those fabulous moments of grace that we've all experienced, but typically the universe will not wrestle you down to give you your good. Like a powerful and supportive mentor, she just stands back and watches us choose our path. Wanders off here, wanders off there, wanders out there, wanders over yonder, as they say where I'm from. And until we are willing in our own consciousness, in our own awareness, that guidance is there, and it will not take the wheel out of our hand, but will wait patiently to give us what we need. And as I like to remind myself, a moving target is harder to hit. Sit still, Penni. Sit in the patience for a moment. Were we to practice patience, we would have what we desire. We'd have the strength. We'd have the understanding. And we could possibly be the expression that we are divinely built to be. And were we to be awake and authentic in our practice of patience, we might just find peace. Impatience gains us no ground. Think about the guy on Route 66 that comes flying up behind you at a high speed. Whips around, you just can't get there soon enough. And you're sitting next to him at the next stoplight. Or how about that conversation that you run in your head? You know, that one that says, you're running late, you forgot something, you didn't get it right the first time. Does that move you forward? Does that inspire you? I know I run those conversations, and not necessarily only in my head. Sometimes it's out loud, right in the middle of my house. Does the self-degradation and the mental abuse serve you in some way? And if it does, I do spiritual coaching. You might want to look me up. However, patience will teach us self-love. Self-love not only gains us ground, it gains us higher ground. And we learn that with patience. Impatience can block your prosperity and put your dreams on hold. After all, patience has been described as the space between your dreams and their manifestation. It's a gentle knowing and a deep trusting that all good things come in time and that challenging times eventually pass. Patience is required to allow the good into your life. You know, trying to be in the flow without patience is like trying to teach a pig to sing. It just irritates the pig and nobody enjoys the entertainment. Lack of patience is a frustrated form of control. Hildegard Bingen again, we have much to do, yet it is vital that we surrender the illusion of control to which we hold so tightly, and instead align ourselves with the Spirit that steers and guides us. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a lot of personal impatience these days. I feel a lot of impatience as I stand here in this empty room that we now call our new home. It makes me sad that you're not here. I feel impatient that I can't run up and hug the people that I love and that I want to express that love for. I feel frustrated that I can't move freely about my life or unencumbered by numbers and reports and, frankly, politics. Do you think that any of that has to do with me not being able to control it? Any places in your life that you feel frustrated because you can't control them? By loosening our need to control, by stepping into a place of patience, we allow ourselves to step into that consciousness of patience, and we wait for it, and we learn surrender. And be careful, there may be more peace in there also. Patience is a spiritual movement in which one allows the timing of events to run its own pace and course and not prematurely interfere. Gurnaam Singh shares that with us. Impatience is also a statement that we lack belief, that we don't have the faith that we are supported by the universe. However, that impatience does emphasize the fact that we create our own life, and when we feel that angst and that anger and we feel that disappointment and that victimization, you can bet we're creating that through our practice of not being patient. When we practice impatience, we fly in the face of our very principle that there's one presence and there is one power, and that is God the good. Every time we feel that sense of impatience, every time we think just because things aren't going our way that we're unhappy and we're impatient with it, that things aren't moving quick enough, we are sending a clear message to the universe. And we are saying, God can't get us through this. We are saying that we don't see the expression of God in us as great enough and strong enough that we can wait for the unfolding of our lives. We are telling the universe to step aside. I say let's send a different message. I say let's demonstrate our belief that God is greater and that we are one with the presence of Spirit, that we are divine and we are okay enough to wait, that we're okay enough to wait for the unfolding of our lives. and to allow the unfolding of our greater selves. Now, we may say that we don't want to wait, that waiting is lazy, and that there's a fine line between patience and lack of doing. However, practicing patience doesn't give us permission to sit on our duffs. Oh, I'm being patient. And we say that using laziness and indecisiveness camouflaged as patience. That's not what we're talking about here, folks. Patience is a form of action. Patience is not about waiting with bated breath for something to happen. When we practice patience, we're telling the universe that we trust the perfect unfolding. And when we are patient, we can hear and we can discern what is ours to do. And we start looking for ways, instead of speeding it up and trying to make it happen more quickly, we start looking for ways that we can sit patiently and be willing to be patient in our consciousness. A quote by an unknown author says this: "Patience may be waiting, but it's not lazy waiting." To keep going when the going is hard and slow, that's patience. I would encourage you to ask yourself some questions when you feel that angst of impatience coming in. Where do you think your life is moving too slow? Are you really going too slow? And how about this question? Do you have reasonable expectations of how fast things should go? And then, of course, why? Why do you want them to go faster? Why do you need them to go faster? Do you describe yourself as someone who has no patience? Do you want patience in your life and you want it right now? I'm in that club. Ignaz Swarna, author of Your Life is Your Message, tells us this: patience can't be acquired overnight. It's like building a muscle, she says. Every day we need to work on it. Every day we need to push it. And when people tell her that they don't have patience, she says that's because you've never pushed it far enough. She recommends that we step back and say, here's a chance to extend my patience. Please, somebody remind me of that, will you, when you see me being impatient. You know, it could be an opportunity to not lose our patience. It could be that we notice how differently we discern and how differently we feel and how differently we react and how differently we behave when we just apply a little patience. She also reminds us that when we learn to be patient with ourselves and others, we actually become humble servants. We become instruments bringing harmony and peace to the world. That sounds pretty good. This week, every time you feel that buzz of impatience, I encourage you to affirm this: I am infinite and I have the patience to match. I am infinite and I have the patience to match. When we remember that we're not being punished when we're being asked to be patient, a few things happen. We get the opportunity to stop and notice that patience really truly does arise out of the rhythm that is innate within life itself. And that by having patience with ourselves and with others, we are being present to the timing of our spiritual unfolding. When we choose to be authentically patient and not asleep, but aware of this unfolding, we can be gentle with ourselves and with others. When we are thinking of patience, we can think of it as an act of remembering that each of us has been divinely crafted, one with God, in the image and the likeness of, and we are evolving and evolving every moment, moment to moment to moment. To recall patience moves us to higher ground, and that patience is the space between our dreams and seeing them manifest, and that patience brings us peace. It'd be pretty crass for us to question the rhythm of creation, wouldn't it? it'd be pretty human of us to forget that these things are obtainable through patience, but to recall that we can be served by the practice of patience is the invitation. Patience reminds us that all will be well. Patience also reminds us that all is well. Blessings, my friends.
Hey everyone, this is a tune of mine called All Is Well. It's sort of a quiet tune, and I hope you all are doing okay out there. So, here you go. My heart is open and my mouth is closed. Pain and fear, no, I don't need those. Sunset, sunrise, seeing this world with my own two eyes. It's tough, but it is good. All is well. All is well. All is well with my soul, with my soul, with my soul, with my soul. I'm gonna wake up early, gonna eat good food. I'm gonna spread this love, that's what I'll do for you and for me. I will love my neighbor, I will lend a hand. I will make this earth a sacred land for me and for you. All is well. All is well. All is well with my soul. You better change right now like you know you should. You better change right now. Be some earthly good. Take a chance and fall in love with everyone. All is well. All is well. All is well with my soul, with my soul. All is well. All is well. All is well with my soul.
Thank you again for joining us here at Unity of Flagstaff. It is our joy to share this time with you. Patience. Let's practice that for ourselves and for all others. Patience. Remember, we're here to hold you in prayer. Submit your prayer requests to office@unityoflagstaff.org, where we will pray over those requests and then forward that to Silent Unity, where it will be held in prayer for 30 days. www.unityoflagstaff.org. Thank you, my friends. Be blessed. Stay well. Namaste.